everyone. My name is Jama with Women's Net, and we are excited today to introduce to you our 2026 April grant recipients. And so, thank you so much for carving out the time to be with us today. So, as an introduction, we have with us Marsha, founder of Ayuda Health, and she is our Amber Grant winner. And then we have with us Kris, founder of EcoSet. And she is our business category grant winner with which, as you know, is sustainability for the month of April. And then finally, we have with us Kim, founder of MITekz, and she is our startup grant winner. And so thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to learning more a little bit about your business and to know what makes all of your businesses unique in your fields. And so to begin today, we're going to begin with Marsha. And Marsha, can you please tell us about your business and a little bit about who or what inspired your business?
Yes, great. So I'm the founder of Ayuda Health, and it's basically a company that develops digital health solutions for people living with multiple chronic diseases. As you know, when a person gets diagnosed with diabetes, they end up with cardiovascular disease or kidney disease, and they have to manage all of these diseases all at once. And we want to create platforms where they can do this. I was inspired by my own father, who was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and I was able to teach him how to simplify his monitoring of his blood sugar, his diet, his therapeutic adherence, and he was able to reverse his type 2 diabetes, and his doctor is baffled. And of course, chronic disease runs in my family. I have an aunt in England who's on 12 medications a day through multiple diagnoses. So just helping to advocate for her. I've also worked in the pharmaceutical industry for roughly 20 years. And the common complaint is that with physicians, once a patient leaves the office, they don't see them for another 12 to 18 months. And when they come back, their diseases are worse, their condition is worse. So we really want to create a space for patients in between physician appointments, because we don't know when they're going to see the physician again, to help manage their multiple conditions and to improve their overall outcomes. So that's pretty much it. And the name Ayuda Health, as you know, it's Spanish for help. And it's really the basis of this is, helping patients help themselves. And that's really what we want to do with this platform.
What a great tool to have, especially because there are so many questions that you have in between those visits and guesswork. And so that's pretty special.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thanks.
Awesome. And we have now Kris with EcoSet. Please tell us about your business and who or what inspired your business.
Hello, I'm Kris Barberg with EcoSet, and we're based in Los Angeles. We are a certified women-owned business, and we provide sustainability solutions for the entertainment industry. And that includes film and television productions, advertising, commercial marketing productions, and events. So we have our hands full trying to make a traditionally wasteful process more sustainable, more conscious. And so we were founded in Minnesota in 2008 by a woman named Shannon Bart. And she and I had met in the mid 2000s working as freelancers on film productions. And she had been very aware of the fact that a lot gets thrown away from film productions. And she wanted to be part of a solution that could reallocate resources to within communities and then also manage things such as recycling, composting, and food waste more responsibly. So she founded EcoSet after we had worked together on a feature film, and then we brought the services to Los Angeles. And we hit our 17-year mark, and we've had a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of rough times in the film industry, and strikes and pandemics. But we've developed a very resilient business model, which is to continually pivot and adapt to different growing needs. And so we're a hybrid type of company. We're part small business service provider, but we also are part community resource. So We operate a donation center right inside of our warehouse, and then it's open to the general public for schools, nonprofits, artists, and filmmakers to take reusable materials that were left over and discarded in the film industry.
We absolutely love this idea, especially because it's just helping, what your product is and what you have. You're just helping so many others in the creative fields and be able to put on great shows. And so we know that this could be a hardship with schools and other organizations. So really amazing work. Thank you so much. And now we have with us Kim with MITekz. Please tell us about your business and what or who inspired your business.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Kim Hernandez, and I'm the founder of MITekz, but also developed a platform called TechRamp. It is an OSCAL native compliance acceleration workspace that helps companies essentially break into the federal markets by making compliance faster, making it more collaborative and repeatable process. As a veteran-founded, woman-led business, we're building out of Northern Virginia. I've seen firsthand that in high-stake environments, technology has to deliver real outcomes. But in the government, outdated compliance processes still, they're keeping great vendors out of the game, essentially from being able to contribute. So the seed of the inspiration for TechRamp really ties back to my background in the military, which taught me that in critical moments, software it's not about the features, it's about the reliability and the outcomes that that software can provide for folks that when we're out in the field. So it surprised me really to see how how stuck and outdated the tooling that we had, not only in the field, but also at home state. Not because better technology didn't exist, but because the compliance to even get in was too expensive and slow. And so our software focuses around FedRAMP and CMMC compliance. And so programs like that take anywhere from 12 to 18 months, and the cost is beyond it's in the millions. So it shuts out a lot of innovative SaaS companies and contractors. So that's the problem that I built TechRamp to solve. So opening up those federal compliance doors so that more strong vendors can serve agencies securely. So.
You're filling a critical need, and even understanding all the compliance regulations is a science in itself many times. So wonderful. Thank you. So, moving on with our interview, we're going to go back to Marsha. And can you please tell us what makes your business approach unique from other people that are building similar tools to navigate their health journeys? Can you please tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So our first offerings, the Ayuda Health platform, and it's geared towards people who have multiple chronic diseases. And the different thing about this is that it solves the 4-app problem. So with medication adherence, some people use applications for that. And then for each of the devices that you may have for your condition, so your glucose monitor for your diabetes or your blood pressure monitor for hypertension, each of these digital devices comes with their own platforms. We integrate it all together so that you can see what's going on in the universe of you with the multiple conditions. So we enable connection to multiple devices and enable the user to see how they're doing, as well as we have an AI algorithm based inside to track when any of these vitals are out of range. You could also connect your smartwatch, track your activity, sleep, and we also enable diet compliance to, let's say, plant-based, ketogenic, or Mediterranean, and you could track your compliance by taking a photo of your meals. And the AI algorithm will calculate the macros and the adherence to the diet plan. And so this is all together in one platform where you can actually see your therapies, your vitals, and your diet and see how all of them are having an impact on your overall outcomes. It also outputs in a report for your care team. So oftentimes when you go to the doctor's appointment, of course, you're going to have to take a blood test and they will interpret the blood test. But now they have all of this additional data of what was done since the last visit to improve their clinical decision making. So I think that what we're offering here is just to simplify what's going on instead of separating and segregating your conditions from each other. So I hope that helps our patients. We've heard good feedback so far, so we hope to help even more.
We're very excited about this. Thank you. And Kris, tell us what makes your business approach different from others that may be doing something similar?
Yeah, we are in a kind of a small field in sustainable production. Everybody who's doing it in the world pretty much knows everybody else. But the difference between us and some other similar service providers is we have a heavy logistics part of our work. We operate 2 warehouses, and we have, a fleet of trucks and trailers, and we can go pick up materials. We can intake semi-loads of materials from different clients that want to purge a lot of their marketing assets or different things that they don't want to go to a landfill. Another unique part of our work is our clients range from student to studio. So we have film students that come in and rent a set wall from us or get free props. And then we work with studios like HBO and Netflix to clear out a storage unit or work with them during the strike process. If a pilot isn't picked up or if a series is canceled, everything used for that show has to go somewhere. A lot of times in LA, it is just sent to the landfill. And so we work with studios and streamers that have sustainability priorities to make sure that all of their useful resources are put back into the community. And another unique part of our work, it's really the life-giving side of our work, is the ability to intersect with nonprofits and schools and directly have teachers come through our warehouse and get school supplies that they were probably going to pay for out of pocket. And there's the expression, the rising tide lifts many boats. And we get to see that every single day in our work is, we're managing the problem of waste, but we're also helping people with free resources and stretch their limited budgets. And so that goes from families to classrooms to independent filmmakers, to theaters, puppet makers. There's so many people that come and benefit from free materials, and it's just part of our job, but we love it.
That's amazing. So I'm just curious, do you have like one specific day where you pick up inventory or you do inventory? I'm just thinking of the manpower that's required to do all of that.
No, it's just we have 6 loading doors. And
Okay.
so things are coming in from each door. So, for example, tomorrow we're getting a bunch of signage from Coachella and Stagecoach Festival. And then right now we're loading in, I believe, storage clear out from Netflix. And so it's something different every day. And we're also working on set for a Target commercial and managing all the school supplies and things that are going to be coming off of that commercial. So we're all over town and we're doing a lot of different things. But one of the things we're really gearing up for long-term impact is next week we're going to host some contacts from the Olympics. And they're looking to us as a possible solution provider for an enormous amount of signage and vinyls and different materials coming off of those games.
Wow. That's a lot. 24/7 job. Thank you for sharing. And so, MITekz, tell us what makes your business. You talked a little bit about it already, but tell us what else makes your approach different and your the service you're providing.
Yes. So most compliance today is consultants and PDFs for the most part. So you essentially you hire smart people. They hand you a 400-page system security plan, also known as an SSP, in a Word format. And 12 to 18 months later, you find out whether the agency liked it or not, like whether they approved it or didn't approve it. And so TechRamp, which is the software that we're developing or that we developed, is it's not a spreadsheet and documents like the typical, the way that it used to be, or that it's mostly being done today. So three things set us aside that make us different. The first is that so we have an AI-driven companion embedded into the software. So it's essentially like a virtual compliance team that helps you translate, like compliance jargon that may not be familiar to the user. So it helps you understand that, and it creates practical actions for you to take to get you up to compliance. It helps or walks non-experts through the implementation that matches their stack, and reduces essentially the need for like the $100,000 consultant engagements that most small businesses and even like 20-person companies that are racing toward the November CMMC deadline. It's not feasible. It's very expensive. And then FedRAMP, which is another thing that TechRamp, that our software helps folks go through, is like that certification is like that's in the millions, and that creates a paywall for agile like SaaS vendors. The second thing is that we're OSCAL native, which is essentially a machine readable format, that the standard that's going to be the standard moving forward. And that means that you can essentially author a control one time, and it will flow into other compliance requirements like your FedRAMP, your CMMC, SOC 2, HIPAA, and ISO artifacts. So in other words, compliance becomes code, so it's not Word documents anymore. So it can easily go into either one of those depending on what what the organization requirements are. And then the third is that TechRamp is it's a multi-party collaboration workspace. So essentially, it's not just for the folks going through the certification, but it's also for vendors, for assessors, for the consultants themselves, and for federal sponsors that are collaborating on the same. It allows them to collaborate on the same package instead of sending emails and attachments that is usually a back and forth. So it really cuts back on the time. And the whole thing about it is that this 2026 is like there's a big wave of requirements coming down from the government. And there's FedRAMP consolidated rules, the CR26, that is going to happen next month in June. And so like everyone has to move toward a machine readable package. That's a must. The second is that FedRAMP, like the FedRAMP 20X phase 3, that is going to expand in the third quarter. And that makes automation first authorization also like the default. So that's another requirement. And then the third is that CMMC enforces, like that's the enforcement starts in November, which is going to bring about 220,000 or plus 220,000 plus defense contractors, somewhere in that area. It's a lot into compliance for the first time. So it is a requirement for you to even be able to do business with the government. If you want to take on a contract that has anything to do with the government, you must be CMMC certified. So that's pretty much what sets us apart. Right now we're early, and we have the right product, and we're like at the right moment where we've actually deployed to production, so it's ready to go now. And so yeah, that's essentially where we're at and what kind of sets us apart from what's currently out there right now.
Sounds like you're at the pulse in understanding what's coming up, and that's pretty huge so that you can be an asset to all these other businesses to benefit from that. So thank you so much. So here you have it, our April 2026 grant recipients. We have Marsha with Ayuda Health, Kris with EcoSet, and Kim with MITekz. And so thank you so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate it. And congratulations.